Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and today I want to go into the lesson that GMS Barak Allah put up. So it's Elder Barak Allah's channel. You should subscribe to it if you're not already. And he brought out this clip that we're going to be speaking on. So let's go ahead and get right into the clip.
Real quick.
What is Black's Law Dictionary? Black's Law is the law of commerce. Black means a dead entity. These are things that don't physically exist. They exist because of agreements that are in your mind. These are trusts that are created. These are the laws and guidelines that those trusts must operate under. These are not rules for you. These are rules for commerce. This is rules for business. Everything in here is commercial. Okay? These are commercial terms to be utilized by the living man so that you can speak in the language of the dead. Okay? This is a necromancer's book. First, there exists no nation of Black Americans, nor is there a Black American in any documented record the world over. Black Americans are what is referred to in law as a misnomer, or collectively misnomers. As you well know grammatically, black is an adjective and is not a proper noun. Socially and politically, black implies civilir mortis, which means dead in the eyes of law. Black American is not a nationality, nor is it a nation. Therefore, black has no political interest nor powers in the free national constitutional that was prepared for all free national beings. Alright, so, for all intents and purposes, black, meaning dead. We just type that in real quick, right? And mourning, black death, civiliter mortis. In a legal context, black can imply civiliter mortis, which means dead in the eyes of the law. What is
You brothers hear that, man?
You just heard that. Our apostles and elders have been telling us about this term black for very long, and how we should not be calling ourselves black people, because it's going into a dead people. And this also is going into commerce, which we have been traded commercially. We're goods and services for these people. And this explains a lot. Elder Malcolm hits on it very often, and how whiteness was created in 1681 and how they used black against us. This is all color psychology, or really color magic, because that's what these Edomites deal in, is magic in their and ways that they can control over people. And this is one of the ways, calling us black, calling us dead, and all of the terms that go along with black. Everything with it is negative, and that's why they put that on us. That's why they call us the Black Hebrew Israelites. And in a way, we have been dead, but we're awakening at this point. So let's first go to the Etmon, because he said a couple words that we should get. And so we should look at black, and he went into it.
Ilusiona a tus seres queridos este San Valentín con Kohl's. Encuentra regalitos divertidos, favoritos de Sephora y joyería que les encantará. Ilusiona a tus seres queridos aprovecha un 15% de descuento. Encuentra regalitos divertidos, favoritos de Sephora y joyería que les encantará. Más, aprovecha un 15% de descuento en algunos regalos. Ahora en Kohl's.
Down here, this is also what black goes into. It says, was used of dark-skinned people in Old English, of coffee with nothing added. So that makes for bitter coffee. I drink my coffee black, though. There's nothing wrong with that. But it says the meaning, fierce, terrible, wicked, is from the late 14th century. figuratively senses often come from the notion of without light, moral, or spiritual. And so we've been in a dead state, not having proper morals because the law, statutes, and commandments are taken away from us, and spiritually because the scriptures were taken away from us and given to us in a altered fashion, with parts of it missing, with parts of the understanding
Ilusiona a tus
taken
seres
away.
queridos este San Valentín con Kohl's. Encuentra regalitos divertidos, favoritos de Sephora y joyería que les encantará. Más, aprovecha un 15% de descuento en algunos regalos. Ahora en Kohl's.
Black is a wicked term. This is a proverb and a byword that has been put onto the southern kingdom of Israel. Getting a little more, it says Latin nigger, which means dark, had many of the same figurative senses, because Simeon was called nigger in the scripts and Acts. It says gloomy, unlucky, and we've had terrible luck, bad, wicked, malicious. And yeah, they have put all of this onto us with dark purposes, malignant. Yeah.
Ilusiona a tus seres queridos este San Valentín con Kohl's. Encuentra regalitos divertidos, favoritos de Sephora y joyería que les encantará. Más, aprovecha un 15% de descuento en algunos regalos. Ahora en Kohl's. Ilusiona a tus seres queridos este...
Has gone out, and now it's time to clean up the deception, because this wickedness, these lies are not going to stand. The truth is going to rise to the top. But the man also used the term misnomer. He said that African Americans or black people are a misnomer. And so here's misnomer: an error in name, mistaken identification of an accused or convicted person. And that is what's been going on. The identities of who the true Israelites are and who the true wicked are have been mistaken, and it's been purposely mistaken, which is why they're in so much trouble. But they have changed our name, which we're the children of light. He's changed our name to be the children of darkness, of wickedness, of blackness. And then he's put the children of light onto himself. And the scriptures speak about how even Satan's ministers would become ministers of light. But it's not the truth. They are the wicked, and that is what's being revealed currently.
Ilusiona a tus seres queridos este San Valentín con Kohl's. Encuentra regalitos divertidos, favoritos de Sephora y joyería que les encantará. Más, aprovecha un 15% de descuento en algunos regalos. Ahora en Kohl's.
That we would be the tail and not the head, as well as being called proverbs and bywords. Calling us black is an error in name, as it says, a misnomer. It is mistaken identity of an accused or convicted person. Wrong to misname a wrongly name. And that is what's happening when blackness is put on us. That's that proverb and the byword. And it's frustrating, but this has to happen for us to come out of it, for the great deliverance to happen, and for Esau to be shamed, because they've created all these things and put it onto the children of light when they're the children of the wicked one. This is Revelation 11 and verse 8, because as he said, black means death. And he brought up how it goes into commerce as well. And so we're at Revelation 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. The dead bodies being the Israelites. Because we broke the law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord put us into a dead state. He did that by taking away our heritage, as he says here in Jeremiah 17 and 4. It says, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. That heritage was being the Israelites and dwelling in the land of Israel. He took away our identity. So we did become a misnomer. And with that, the nations, especially Edom being the so-called J-ish people, the small hatters, those 1948ers with the big noses that are in the Lord's land, starting with them, they're actually the tribe of Amalek, and then the rest of Edom are the rest of Caucasia, so-called white people. That's Edom. That's the wicked one. And they put onto us as proverbs and bywords the term black and the term African American and all these other terms that they have put onto us, as well as the Northern Kingdom as well. They're Mexicans and they're Latinos. But really they're the Northern Kingdom of Israel. They're Israelites. We're not black people. We are Israelites, and Israelites will come in all colors. But the Lord took away our heritage and knowing who we were, which put us into a black state, into the state of confusion, not knowing who we are. And it says, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. So we did become commerce, as stated in that clip. It says, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. And we messed up severely, but we're coming back to the true understanding, because the Lord's raising us back up. We're being resurrected currently. We're being rebuilded, refit. So he's raising us up currently. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. These are the dead bodies of the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, not knowing who they are, not having their land, in the street of the great city being Babylon, or aka America. This is the headquarters of the wicked, which spiritually is called Sodom because of all the alphabet lifestyle and all the deviancy that goes on here and in all of Western society, in which they'll show Ishmael getting all wicked and wild, but it's really the most wicked and the most deviancy comes out of the West. That's why it's called Sodom. And Egypt, showing that bondage, showing the commerce that we became, because ancient Egypt, we were commerce and in bondage. This is where our Lord was crucified, because they took away all understanding of the Lord. He came for Israel, but here they'll tell you he came for everybody. And they'll tell you that he's a so-called white man and that his name is Jesus, but those things are not true. His name couldn't possibly be Jesus. J is the newest letter in the alphabet, going back 400 years or so. And he couldn't possibly be a so-called white man, because that's the image of the wicked. That's the image of an Edomite. And they have what you would call leprosy. They're clean lepers. And that's the mark of Cain, to have your melanin stripped away. In which our people are going to come back looking like that, because we've been scattered to the four corners of the earth. But the Lord's going to clean them up when we get those new bodies. And it says, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. And so these are all of the other nations. This place, America, is called a mixing pot, a melting pot, because all of the nations come here. And the scriptures speak about how Esau would be like that. He heapeth unto him all peoples and nations and tongues. And this is his headquarters, where he's done the most heaping. And shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. This isn't going into a literal 3 days and a half. This is going into 350 years. From 1619, when they say the first ships of so-called black people or commerce people or dead people came in, which are truly the Israelites, from 1619 to 1969, when Abba Bivens started putting out the truth of the doctrine of the Bible. And this is Elijah returning to return the hearts of the children to the fathers, and the fathers to the children. And you see this 3 days and a half going into, I think, 1260 days. You see it in other formations here in verse 2. You see it as 42 months. That still breaks down in the same way, because 12 months make a year, and so you still have 3.5 there. And then you also see it in verse 3 at 1,203 days, so 1,260 days, and that still comes out to 3.5 years. So it's all talking about 350 years. If I explain that thoroughly, we should do a lesson on that as well. You see this in Daniel as well, the same timeline or time frame. But they left us for these 350 years not knowing who we are in this dead state, in this commercial state, this commerce state, because we were their property. But we're returning and waking up and coming to the terms that we're Yahushai's property. And we're waiting for him to deliver us, for him to redeem us, for him to buy us, because those are commerce terms as well. And we're waiting for our kinsman redeemer. If you think of Deuteronomy 28 and 68, where it talks about no man shall buy ye, but Yahushai will redeem us, because that word buy is going into redeem, all going into commerce. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, that 350 years, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. They could have revealed to us and told us that we are the Israelites. But Esau had to go around pretending that he's the Israelites, and they're still doing that with their Christianity. Because Christianity, they have to go off of the false theory of replacement theology or supersessionism, where they're saying that the church has replaced the true Israelites. And then also you've got the J-ish, those frauds that are saying that they're actually the tribe of Judah, that they're the Judeans, and that they always have been. But that is a lie. Just look. Is there still war? There's still war. There's still war going on. But when the true Israelites return, there will be no more war, because they're going to be so powerful that none of the nations will be able to war against them. There will be no more war, but there is currently war with the frauds that are here in the land. And Ezekiel 36:5 lets you know that it's Idumea, it's Edom, so-called white people, and these so-called Ish people, these J-ish people, are there, masquerading like they're the true Israelites. That is a lie. And it says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because the two prophets, northern and southern kingdom, tormented them that dwelt on the earth, because they're supposed to be under us. But they're trying to break their bands from the Most High, and he gave them this time to have rulership. This is the time of the Gentiles, but it's coming to an end. And they've trodden down Jerusalem because they are the Gentiles. Or as it says, Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles till the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And they said they're going to make merry. I think it's in they that sell them. Yeah, Zechariah 11:5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their shepherds pity them not. And these are that slave trade. They got rich, filthy rich, off of using us as commerce off of selling our dead bodies, selling our black bodies around the earth. And this happened to both the northern and the southern kingdom. And there is even an act that reclassified Gad, the Native Americans, as black people. They've done their fulfillment. They fulfilled this. They have sold us. They got rich. They got blessed. And now it's time for the party to stop. Read 10 again. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall sell gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth, the northern and the southern kingdom. And after 3 days and a half, so 350 years, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Stood upon their feet. This is Ezekiel 37. And this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. Coming out of that dead state and singing the new song. So let's go to Ezekiel 37. And we'll go here, 11 through 14. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. These bones in a dead state, not knowing who they are, not knowing that we're Israelites, but referring to ourselves as these proverbs and bywords, mainly black for the southern kingdom, showing that we're dead. It says, Behold, your Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Israel being the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the northern and the southern kingdom, as well as our scattered, because our scattered are also thinking that they're of these other nations, when in fact, through their fathers, they go back to the nation of Israel. So they're in this dead state as well. It says, Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost, because we have no understanding, just in complete confusion. We are cut off for our parts. And this even happened literally when they were lynching so-called black men, the Israelites. They were cutting off our members as well, and sending them one to another with these lynching postcards. It says, Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. So the Lord is giving us the truth of the matter. He's dropping down that sweet wine, and the Israelites are standing on their feet, knowing who they are, and knowing what's going to happen to the other people, the people that did this to them. This is through the apostles and the elders. This is through Abba Bivens giving us the truth in 1969. This is those 350 days, or the 3.5 years coming to an end, coming out of our graves. And ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. It's giving us that new song and letting us stand on our feet in front of the face of our enemies, and they that have done wickedly to us. And this is that great fear falling upon them as well, because they're afraid of this truth, because they know what's going to happen to them for everything they've done to the Israelites. And even you look at that term black again, and that's a lot of the confusion in how they word things and how we say different things. Not just the violence that they've committed about it with us, it's the understanding and the philosophies that have been put into this earth as well, the false history, the false images. They've done a lot to keep us in that dead state, but it was all for naught. It says, And shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land, Then shall ye know that I, the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. The Lord is raising us up, and He's taking us out of being a dead people, a no people, into our land again, into our heritage again. I'm going to go here to Hosea, because the Lord said that we would be not a people, but then we're going to gain it back in the end. And it's beautiful to see. This is Hosea 1 and verse 9. It says, Then said the Most High, call his name Loami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. He took it away from us. Jeremiah 17 and 4. Took it away from us, and he went to his place until we acknowledged our offense. And it's being acknowledged with the Israelites standing on their feet again. And more are coming to us. The mixed multitude is going to have to come soon. And we're watching the end come as well. But we were not a people. We were a black people, a dead people. And just commerce. Verse 10, it says, Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. Which those frauds, they can't say that. They'll even tell you that they are one of the smallest populations of nations on the earth. They're not as the sand of the sea. There's still war. Where are the other tribes? Because the northern kingdom and southern kingdom should have linked together before going back into the land. And when did Ezekiel 37 happen to them? When did Jeremiah 17 and 4 happen to them? Because they say they were the people since the beginning of time, but that didn't happen to them, yet they're in the land. And that had to happen for Ezekiel 37 to happen. They had to have lost their heritage for them to gain it back in Ezekiel 37. That didn't happen to these people because they are frauds and liars, and they're about to be a no people. They're coming into this because really they're gonna get their true understanding of who they are, that they are the Edomites and that the Lord hates them, and that's going to be placed onto them. But being an Edomite is basically being a no people as well, because the Lord has his face permanently turned away from them, and the worst of the worst is about to happen to them. All these curses that should have been on them for them to be claiming that they are the people. That's how you would identify the Lord's people, by the curses. All these curses that they've been saying and wanting to be under, basically, it's going to happen. They're going to get their wish, and they will be under these curses. Deuteronomy 30 and 7 says the Lord's going to put all these curses onto our enemies, and Edom being the number one enemy, and that includes those small hatters. They're at the top of that. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, that place being Babylon the Great, being America. This is that city in Revelation 11, that great city, is also the place likened unto Sodom and Egypt, America. This is where we're told that we're not the Israelites, that we're black people, that we're just commerce, we're slaves, children of slaves. People call themselves that. ADOS, American descendants, or African descendants of slaves. It's all confusion. We're Israelites. We're Israelite descendants of slaves. We're the true rulers of this planet, under Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place, America, where it was said unto them, or Babylon the Great, you are not my people. That's what's been said to us, that you're not the people. No, you're not the Israelites. You're black Hebrew Israelites. There it shall be said unto them, because they're going to acknowledge this. People are going to acknowledge that those frauds aren't the people as well. There it shall be said unto them, in Babylon the Great, ye are the sons of the living power, which we are. That's the name. Israel, which is Yashar Allah. He is Prince of the power. Princes are the son of the king. And that's truly what the Israelites are. The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It speaks of how the house of David shall be his God. Because we are the sons of God. Sons of the Most High. And we are waking up. And gotta end it here at Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. The Lord has allowed us to stand up after those 3 days and a half, that 350 years, and say that we are not black people. We are not commerce. We are not trade. We are the true sons of the living power. We are the Israelites. And telling these people what they are and who they come from. Letting a Chinese person know that they are of Moabite descent. Letting the wicked, the Edomites, the so-called white people, and these frauds as well, the small hatters, letting them know that they are Edomites and that they are about to go into slavery under the true people, under the true white people on this earth, the Israelites, the pure. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.